Auburn's biggest winner in fall camp. It's a freshman wide receiver, and thank goodness that really doesn't narrow it down.
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zach Blackerby, and thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. It's a Charlie Tuesday to all who celebrate, so we're joined by Auburn message board legend, the Charlie 5. Oh, I've been told not to call you that anymore. Got to change it.
Yes.
Kyle Rush.
Yes.
Also known as Charlie 5, hanging out with us of thebarnauburn.com. More on that in a little bit. Who is the winner of fall camp? We jump into that topic today, as well as providing a Cruton update later in the show. We both think the true winner of fall camp so far is a true freshman. The true freshman that we think it is different, which, how exciting is that? I still think, regardless of all the excitement about Malcolm Simmons this past weekend and Perry Thompson, really the 2 weeks prior to that, I still think it's Cam Coleman. I mean, when you look at what he's done throughout fall camp, it's almost like we expected greatness. And when he has been nothing but great and close to perfect as a true freshman, it's like we're overlooking it because there are other exciting true freshmen in the room. But still, at Cam Coleman, despite the excitement about Perry and Bryce Cain and Malcolm Simmons, the Freeze Four, Cam Coleman is still, to me, the winner of fall camp when you look at the entire roster.
The only pushback I'll have is, can you win when you've already won? I feel like he's already won. Like, you're already a starter. He won in spring. Like, he stole our hearts back in April when he showed up catching the beautiful touchdown pass and diving catch in the A-Day game. In my opinion, he's already won. You know what I mean? So can you win when you're already winning? Why not? I guess, but I don't think that's a bad answer. But look, we have a kid who I'm being honest, has won himself out of a red shirt. He's had such a good fall camp and worked himself possibly out of being redshirted. And that's Malcolm Simmons. Shows up in June, did not get the spring, did not get that opportunity to shine. He's shown up and he's had pads on about months less than some of the other guys. And now he's becoming a guy that the coaches are trying to feature in the offense. Let's put him out wide. Let's put him in the slot. Let's bring him in motion behind, orbit motion behind us and coming out of the backfield, throwing wheel routes out of the backfield. Yeah. Like, this kid has gone from a possible red shirt to, by the middle of the season, could be one of the more explosive players on Auburn's team. But I think he has the ability to be one of the more explosive players in, if not the SEC college football. Like, he's that. I don't want to gas him up too much, but like, you can just see
You're
it.
late for that.
Yeah, well, you can just see it whenever he gets the ball in his hands, he can explode.
Yeah, which is obviously what you want, and that's what this offense has lacked. With the exception of a few years in the Gus Malzahn era, there just hasn't been that explosive threat. Darius Slayton had some traits. Anthony Schwartz had some traits. Obviously, Sammy Coach and Duke Williams had some traits. But as far as guys who can really stretch the defense, and you haven't had much of that over the last several years. And now all of a sudden you look at Cam Coleman and Perry Thompson and KLS and of course Malcolm Simmons, and Auburn's got plenty of options now, which what an incredible situation to be in. I mean, these are guys, the two guys we're talking about as far as the true winners of fall camp so far, Cam Coleman, Malcolm Simmons. I mean, Auburn is in a spot where they get them for the next 3 years.
Minimum.
Yeah. Which is exciting, which is absolutely exciting. And to me, I do think Coleman is the winner, because how many times have we hyped somebody up or they've had a good spring and then they take a step back in the fall, or they seem to kind of be like, okay, maybe we overhyped them a little bit.
Yeah.
Cam Coleman has been elite since day one, and he's never dropped off. Like, it's you don't see that a whole lot in any sport and at any level. That's what makes these guys great. The Tom Brady's, the Patrick, like, these guys are always consistently close to perfect anytime they come on the field. And Cam Coleman is just like, I've taken that top spot and I'm never going to let it go. To me, I think that's being overlooked because there are new guys in the room that are super exciting and they deserve the praise. Perry deserves it. Malcolm Simmons deserves it. No question about it. And we'll lump Bryce Cain in the conversation as well because he certainly deserves it. He had a great scrimmage too on Saturday. But yeah, to me, it is Cam Coleman that's the true winner of fall camp. But the fact that it's a conversation with as good as Cam Coleman has been, it's just it means so much for the future of Auburn football, Kyle. I mean, totally. it felt weird saying Kyle right there. I hated it. I hated it.
Every second of it.
But growth is hard sometimes, and we're growing here. Your name is Kyle Rush, not Charlie 5, so that's okay. But so to me, those two guys are just, it's exceptional.
There's always like flash in the pan camp legends. I feel like there's a camp legend in the spring or a camp legend in the fall that never pans out. But I will say you're right. Cam has been the consistent storyline so far in spring and fall. He's the guy. And he was ever since he walked on campus. So I you know what? I'll let you have that one. You can have that one.
Thanks. We both have two other guys that could be considered winners of fall camp. And so let's transition to some of our defensive guys that could be the winners of fall camp. To me, I think JC Hart has to be in that conversation. Somebody kind of called me out on one of the message boards last week where I said JC Hart was like the 5th or the 6th corner. That's probably not true anymore. I mean, you've got Kayan Lee, who I would do anything for.
No doubt.
And then obviously Keontae Scott on the other side.
You can have it.
But after that, there was kind of a battle of like, okay, is it Antonio Kite, the transfer from Bama? Is it the true freshman in Jay Crawford, which I think the world of? I think he's going to kind of be the next guy after Kayan Lee. And then after that, I think it's JC Hart. And you can make the argument based off of what we've seen, the little bit of what we've seen and what we've heard. Is JC Hart legitimately in the 2 deep? And I think he is at this point. And I don't think he was at the start of fall camp. So JC Hart to me is a winner of fall camp as well.
I'll take it even further with JC Hart. He may not just be in the 2 deep. He may be first corner off the bench. He may be closing in on first corner off the bench. So I guess number 3, he could be getting close to surpassing Antonio Kite.
Which think about how much Kayan Lee played as that number 3 corner a year ago.
Yeah.
I mean, the number 3 corner on your defense in today's day of college football
plays a ton.
So it's so important.
Yeah. And you're talking probably started off somewhere maybe 5 or 6, as far as what people thought of him. And he's rocketed up. He played a ton in the scrimmage. He was in the non-contact jersey, but he was very physical. There was a lot of one-on-one battles that he was going up, and he was not shying away from any contact. So I'm with you. On there. I like that. I like that as a defensive winner. One for me. Okay.
Actually,
go ahead.
We've got two more defensive names.
Yeah.
And we're going to tell you who they are, both on the defensive front in just a moment. Right here.
I'm too excited.
Woo! Unlocked on Auburn. Today's show is brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Charlie 5. I'm sorry. Kyle Rush.
Oh, get it right.
Sorry. Quick question. Can you imagine wagering anywhere other than our friends at FanDuel?
I will. I won't allow myself. I would let Charlie 5, but I'm not letting Kyle Rush imagine.
Yeah, no, you respect yourself too much, which I appreciate. This summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long, even alter egos, like Kyle Rush has with Charlie 5. So head over to FanDuel.com and start making the most out of your summer. How surprised are you, seriously, that FanDuel's line is still 7.5 wins for Auburn? I cannot believe it hasn't moved. With all the hype.
I know, but it's such a good line. It's such the perfect line. We're just so perfect for 8 wins. I think you got to hit it.
Yeah, Auburn at 7.5 and Ole Miss 9.5. The over just seems like free money. So go and take it. Head over to FanDuel.com. Start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel is the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball and the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. For your second listen, go check out Locked On SEC with Chris Gordy or Locked On College Football with Spencer McLaughlin. I'm on Locked On College Football today. Be sure to check it out. Kyle Rush.
Yes.
Who is your second winner of fall camp so far?
It's no secret. It's got to be Kieran Crawford. He is a very, very impressive physical specimen. So just he wins the get off the bus prize. Like he is the most physically impressive maybe defender on the whole roster.
Give me 3 adjectives to describe Kieran Crawford's body, just real quick. And we'll go on to his play. But yeah, describe his body for me, please.
I can't. I'm gonna have to pass on that. I feel like it'll be. We don't have enough sensors. I don't think it will get past the FCC. Developed, shredded,
long,
chiseled. Let's go with that. For right
We got there.
No, but he's physically impressive, and then you could see the explosion. You could see the explosion in the scrimmage. He was making a lot, being very disruptive, getting in the backfield, and holy cow, how good does it feel to maybe have 2 good pass rushing options? And he's going to be here for multiple years. Jalen McLeod, this is his last ride. You get Kieran Crawford for multiple years. And he's got in. He came in late transfer, adjusted, and he's already. It's hard to even call him second string. He's like 1B. They're going to be tag teaming, and it is going to be. There's a chance that Auburn could have an electric pass rush.
I mean, it seems like we've tried this at Auburn several times, and just that edge that hasn't come in. I mean, obviously they nailed it with McLeod last year, but before that, it was like Ekuliota, which was solid. It was fine. But so much about being a legit edge is you need another guy on the other side.
Exactly.
And Kieran Crawford is going to be set up by the success of Jalen McLeod and Keldrick Falk. He is certainly a part of this conversation as well. And then, I mean, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves because I don't want to dismiss Jalen, but like next year when it's Kieran and Keldrick and Amaris isn't a freshman anymore. And it's just, I mean, just
you know what that is, Zach? That's doing it like you're supposed to do it. You're
stacking
building
classes.
You're stacking up
program.
No Band-Aids. What? This is just how you do it. You just reload.
You're allowed to actually plan for future rosters.
It's incredible. Reload. You're kidding me? Instead of rebuild, you're reloading. Unreal. I don't know what that feels
so
like.
Exciting. Yeah. So obviously Kieran Crawford is I agree with that. A huge winner because he was. I mean, similar to a lot of these guys that got here over the course of the summer, and with Kieran, like he hasn't been playing football that long, and so it's like, okay, how quickly can you adjust? And clearly he's adjusted just fine, which is super, super exciting. You've your other name's a defensive guy. So who else on the defensive front has won this fall?
Yeah, I think Isaiah Rakes has got to be considered one of the winners as well. Of
another late arrival.
Another late arrival. Had a really weird, winter transfer. Spring had a really weird season. Okay. So he shows up and, you could have really let yourself go at that point in time, but he's put in the work. And Jason Jones looks like he's built out of a mountain. He looks like he's been chiseled out of a mountain. So like you've got a mountain to climb as far as being able to even be able to compete with that guy. And now I think you legitimately have a 1-2 punch right there in the middle that can keep each other fresh. And I think those guys have to love each other because Jason now can hopefully remain healthy. And Isaiah Rakes has never been a guy that's played a lot of snaps. So to be able to sort of work your way into possibly be in that rotation where both of them can kind of protect each other. I can go in there, I can pin my ears back and hit somebody in the mouth and go full speed. And I know if I got to catch a blow, the guy coming in right behind me is just as there's no drop off. There's no drop off. And there's been so much talk about this even being so big, how he's able to split double teams and he's immovable. I think he's going to be that's definitely a big winner, because you kind of worry how the whole winter thing went. Does he come in? He's really out of shape and he's only got 1 year. Can he even really make an impact? He's definitely,
he can make an impact.
He's definitely coming in ready to play.
My least favorite thing about Isaiah Rakes, and I want you to tell me if this is a legit concern or not.
Okay. I know what it is. I already know what it is.
Does that have to do with his jersey number?
Yes.
Number 22 as a nose tackle. I don't love it.
It is I
don't love it.
It is a weird number. It is a weird nose tackle number. And it almost, he's so big that 22 even looks smaller. Like, it looks like it's a small 22 on his jersey. So.
Yeah, it's like his jersey is like, is that a walk-on? No, that's like one of the big transfers from the summer. It's like, okay. All right. Yeah, that's just so strange. And he was 34 at A&M.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Can't wear that here. Right. Yeah. So, which still, 34 is not a great D-line number either, by the way. So
maybe he played running back in high school or something, and he just really digs. Can you imagine that guy? Can you imagine that guy at tailback in high school?
I've imagined a scenario in my mind where that's why Damari changed his number, because he's like, I'm not wearing the same thing as you.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. I haven't even thought about that, but it very well could be. No, I do agree. That's got to be. We got to fix that. We got to get him 50, or maybe even 6. Just give him 60. Give him something. Just nasty lineman number.
Yeah, 22 just doesn't fit right with me. I know he doesn't care, but still, I just wanted to put that out there. No, he looks great. He looks great, and that's something that Jason Jones, whenever he comes on the show, he said this 5 or 6 times now throughout the offseason, where the rotation is going to be a big part of this. And that was a big part of the scrimmage too. You've pointed that out on the Top Button podcast about how they're constantly rotating guys. And that's something that we talk about every offseason. But at Auburn, we haven't seen that consistently at any level defensively. No. Defensive line, especially linebacker. I mean, it seems like Zacoby McClain and Chandler Wooten and Owen Papa, they're playing like 100 snaps a game. It was insane. And now you're going to have the ability to do that. And in the fourth quarter, week to week, in a brutal SEC schedule, that stuff matters. Stuff matters. And, you point at, okay, well, like Auburn teams haven't finished well over the last several years. That probably has something to do with it.
Sure. Everybody's always banged up. Like,
how could you not be?
Yeah,
you're playing 60 to 70 snaps every week. The most physical league in the sport. Like, this is going to be a huge thing.
Yeah, Jason, bless his heart, he's had to be an Iron Man at defensive tackle. Like, how miserable does that have to be to play 70 snaps a game and just get beat on, and you don't feel good and you don't feel 100%. It just I think it's got to be a little bit exciting, or a little bit of a relief to be able to know you got somebody back there that can give you a break, and you don't feel guilty for coming off the field, because that guy's just as good as me, and I can cheer for him, because he's going to make me better. He's going to make it to where my snaps are more efficient. I can get more out of them than just going out and having to play a snap. I can go out and play a snap, fresh. I can play it healthy. I can play it full speed. To me, that's invaluable to be able to have two guys like that.
Because it's in the back of their mind too. It's like, I can truly go 100% every.
I don't have to watch out for my shoulder. I don't have to. I can just go 100%.
That's right.
Go get a check. Go try to earn a check.
Sure. All right. My final winner. It's a quarterback. And we also, hey, nobody freak out about recruiting. All that's coming up right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show is brought to you by our friends at eBay Motors. I'm going to list 3 things. List 3 things. Tell me if you can get it, where you could get it.
Okay.
Windshield wipers.
eBay Motors. Sorry.
Okay. Yep,
I thought you were going to ask the 3 and then I would answer.
I need a new steering wheel. Where should I go?
eBay Motors.
I need a new exhaust pipe.
eBay Motors.
Well, I want to go somewhere where the parts aren't super marked up, and I know it's going to fit my vehicle.
The only place you can go is eBay Motors.
That's right. eBay Motors. Over 122 million parts for your ride or die. They also have eBay Guaranteed Fit, where it's guaranteed to fit your car no matter what. So keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. eBay guaranteed fit, only available to U.S. customers. Charlie 5, I think a winner so far in fall camp is Hank Brown, who, I mean, it's kind of like all agreed upon. He is QB2 at this point. And I love this move. And the reason I think he's a winner is because, one, he moved up the depth chart. And if you're Hank, you've got to be looking and saying, okay, well, if I'm QB2 right now and the guy in front of me is done after this year, I've got a shot to be the guy. I'm a year away from being the guy. And also, like, we expected this move to happen in the depth chart this spring, and it never really happened. Like, you talk to folks within the program, and it's like, yeah, if something happened to Peyton, like, it'd probably be Hank over Holden, but Holden got more of the reps with the twos throughout spring, which surprised a lot of folks. But the general consensus was like, by the time the season starts, Hank will be that guy. And by all accounts, it sounds like he's gone out and earned it. And props to Hank. And so, he's got to be a winner of fall camp.
Yeah, I mean, you come in as a freshman and you're honestly like a sort of one of those last-minute additions, like nobody really expects a whole lot out of you, and you've just put your head down and gotten to work, and now there's no question he's your number 2 guy. I mean, whenever you're doing drills in the sprint, when you're doing drills of the scrimmage, you're rotating in and out of Peyton with the ones. So, like, it's very clear that if something happens to Peyton, Hank is the guy first off the bench. And he made some big plays in the scrimmage. I think that's something that's sort of been a calling card of his. Gunslinger, not afraid to sling it down the field. And I think people like that. And I think there's a lot of value to that. And like you said, people have already been talking about portal. Like, the portal quarterback has been something that's been on sort of, everybody's mind after this season. But Hank solidifying, like, it's not a question who the number 2 guy is. If we're able to put some folks away and Hank's able to get out there and show what he can do and make some plays and continue to develop, he may make a case to say, hey, I think I'm the guy. I'm the guy. I don't think you need anybody else.
Hank looks it, man. Like, I don't think people realize, like, how big he is and how big of an arm he has.
I'll tell you something else too about Hank. Hank thinks it. Hank thinks he's the guy. And
I've said it before.
In a good way.
Yeah. And people, when I was talking him up, when he was this 3-star guy, this last-minute ad that you're talking about, I'm like, this guy's good. Like, you watch his tape, like, this dude has moxie. He wins. He's efficient as all get out, and he's a great teammate. But I'm with you, dude. Like, mentally, we saw it in the bowl game where he hit, I forgot who he hit deep. And, like, he didn't react at all.
Like, yeah, I just do that. That's just what I do.
Yeah, it's like, of course it was going to be a completion. I threw it. He's got that mentality, and I think that spreads to his teammates. I know it does. I've been told that it does, and so we'll certainly see. We'll certainly see what happens with Hank. But yeah, he's a winner this fall camp. He shot up the depth chart after not doing it in the spring, which maybe he did, and they just didn't want to make it official. Maybe they wanted to keep Holden. Who knows? Maybe there were politics there. You never know.
I'm sure there was a little bit of politics.
Yeah, it would make sense. Because you need a 4th quarterback. So, but yeah, Hank is certainly a winner. As far as a recruiting update, Kyle, there's been a lot of discussion, or maybe I don't want to say panic because I don't think it's been that extreme, but people voicing concerns about, okay, this Deuce Knight potential flip, who he's currently committed to Notre Dame, the quarterback. There hasn't been, it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
You and I, not concerned at all.
No, I haven't been. And the reason is because I feel like Deuce has kind of made it clear that I'm going to get something done before the season starts. The August 8th, the next 24 hours are big. Today was the day that you're hearing from the Notre Dame mods. That's never been on the table with Deuce. Like that has never been, like, Deuce has never told Auburn, I'm going to flip on August the 6th. I'm going to flip on these. That's never happened.
Do you think Notre Dame folks is this their way of coping?
Hoping for sure. Hoping,
but not coping.
maybe hoping with a little bit of coping. I don't know how you mix that together, but I think
a little hope cope.
A little hope cope. I think it's a little bit of hope cope going on. And, they may be, I think they're just reading internet message board rumors. I think they're reading rumors on Twitter and sort of taking it to heart. You see August 6th, you see August 9th, you see all these dates people put out that don't really know what the heck they're talking about. I just don't think there's anything to worry about. I don't think there's anything to worry about with Deuce Knight. And if it goes past the end of August, like if it comes past the August and he hadn't made a decision, then I'm going to start kind of panicking a little bit. But there's nothing's changed. There's been no change in. Yeah. And if you really, really read what the Notre Dame folks are saying, if you really, really read it, you can tell it's literally grasping for straws. Like they will back it up with, I mean, honestly, I still don't know 100%. I still don't feel good about it, but at least we've made it past this day. And it seems like it's just that goalpost keeps moving back.
The longer it goes, like that technically is true. Like, I guess you still have a chance. And it's like, if it goes all the way to December, like he's going to sign with you. It's like, of course that's true. But to act like there was some timetable set. Yeah, I don't think that's true.
No, I don't either. There's also a big note, Steve Wiltfong put out that he felt like Andrew Babalola, the 5-star offensive tackle, a couple of weeks ago, felt like August the 12th was a date, which was obviously yesterday, was a day that would be possibly a decision date for him. And I think at the time, Michigan may have been trending to be leading for that recruitment. Well, the 12th is coming on, and I hate to act a little bit like Notre Dame, but that is a date that's actually been out there, not just a made up something. That's from a national recruiting analyst. I think Auburn may be making a move here. He may be one that's kind of watching to see what happens with the quarterback situation. So, could Auburn land a 5-star offensive tackle? I think it may be trending in that direction. Like it could be possibly. Auburn may make a run here.
Auburn lands a 5-star offensive tackle in Babalola.
I'm going shirtless for a week on the pod if that happens.
Sure, not where I was going with that question. Not where I was going, but I'm all for that.
Sheer celebration. The No Button podcast for a week.
All right, my actual question: if they land him, they land the 5-star tackle.
Sorry.
Do you wear a shirt ever again? No. Does Auburn lose a commitment from an offensive tackle?
You maybe. I mean, you got a guy like. I don't want to call out names, but yeah, I could see it possibly happen. I could see a guy, one of your lower rated guys, looking elsewhere to see if he could have a better.
I mean, I still think you do everything you can to keep all of them.
Sure,
because
more the better.
We need to backfill for the last 10 years at offensive tackle.
The last 2 decades.
That's right.
Offensive tackle recruiting. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's like, no, yeah, but you got a shot here for sure. So, cool. Awesome updates. You've got some new stuff going on. Yeah. We have some new stuff going on.
Yeah.
Tell folks about it.
Yeah, you can find me. You need to check out thebarnauburn.com. That's our brand new message board. The message board legend, as Zach says it. I now have my own message board, and you got Zach on there. You got Dap on there. A lot of different guys that we've met over the years on message boards that we've compiled to be insiders, dropping nuggets. You got scrimmage, play-by-play. You got all kind of inside stuff. And you can try it out for only $1. Try it out for $1. See if you like it, and then roll with it. We know you are. Just give it a shot. Check us out, thebarnauburn.com. You got to love that name. I'll tell you what, there's some merch coming out that's going to be dope. You can have the Barn hats, the Barn shirts. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then obviously you can find me on the Top Button podcast every single day of the week, getting after it.
Yep, that's right. And that's going to be on the Barn YouTube page. Please like the video. Please subscribe. We'll see you next time. This has been Locked On Auburn.